All right. Hey, everybody. Let me get things set up over on this side. Make sure everything looks good. I think I just get a little antsy when I start clicking refresh, hoping that everything's coming up quickly. Oh, good. We've got a good picture here. Let's see here. There we go. Good evening. Happy Sunday night. This is Tara with Tarabeth Stamps. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in mid-Missouri. Hey, Jamie Sue, thanks for joining. So if you pop in, definitely tell me you're here, where you're from. If I don't know you right off the bat, that'd be awesome. Tonight, we are going to do a card. Hey, Rosie, thanks for joining. We're going to do a card using the Legendary Ride. It was funny this afternoon. I jumped up on a teammate's live and she was using the same set. I thought it was hilarious that we both picked the same thing out of all the things that we can do. But we're using the Legendary Ride set. I brought in some of that He's the Man DSP. Hey, Lori, thanks for joining. That He's the Man DSP is going to be retiring, and I just checked right before we came online. Hey, Mary. Hey, Karen. Thanks for joining. I just checked the status, and it is still available. This is a retiring DSP that's going to be going out at the end of the month. So if you love it, grab it. It's a great masculine set. It's got a lot of barbecue images, lots of classic cars. Hey, Susan, happy Sunday. So definitely don't miss out on this set. It's got a great bundle that goes along with it. The Legendary Ride set is going to be a carryover from the January to April mini catalog, so it's going to be available. You don't have to worry about jumping onto it, but I did calculate you are losing the bundle pricing, and our bundling with Stampin' Up is 10% off, and if you miss that bundle pricing, you can still get it, but you're going to pay almost $6 more by getting it at the non-bundle price. And this is a really fun masculine set that can be definitely used for women, because I know many women drive motorcycles as well, and you could just make them pink instead of orange or black, whatever. So this is our card for today. Annual catalog. So this is what the front looks like. I can't show you any of the inside stuff. But if you don't have one, let me know. I'll pop one in the mail to you. I definitely want everybody to have a chance to look at that hard copy versus going online and checking everything out. I do take mine to Staples and get a plastic cover and some binding. And I do this to a couple of them because, you know, you got to have more than one if you're going to look around. So let's get that out of the way and let's get down to business. So this is a double Z fold that I found on Debbie Henderson's blog a couple of days ago. It was fairly outdated on the products that she used, but I thought it would be wonderful to use some of this gorgeous DSP. So this is going to be one of those cards. There's not a whole lot of dimensionals on here, but let me tell you, it's going to need some extra postage because it is heavy. Like most of those cards that I make, it is heavy, heavy, heavy because we're lots of layers, because that's what I love is layers. But that's the card. So let's get started with doing a little stamping first. Let's see here. I've got all sorts of stuff cut out here. There's not a whole lot of stamping involved with this particular one. A lot of it's just the piecing that I want to show you, putting together that. There it is. Like, where's the inside here? There's just a lot of piecing to this motorcycle, and that's something that not everybody's going to get right off the jump go. So we're going to try out these Memento ink pads because I just re-inked them because they were so bad. And I don't know if I got enough ink. I feel like I used half the bottle on there. Let's see here. Well, that looks pretty good. I may have finally made it enough. All right. So this is a piece of Sahara Sand cardstock that I die cut with the stylish shapes. See what I mean? Yuck. Let's turn that over. You know, a Stamparatus would probably be really nice right here on these bold sentiments. Let's try it right here. Well, that's a little better. It's not great. I'm just going to change ink pads here. Let's see here. I thought I had another black ink pad here. Maybe we'll just be sticking with what we got, because I don't see it. Here it is. All right. We're going to use this one. All right. Back to what we were doing. Okay, I'm going to ink this up with some basic black ink here. And this is going to go on the inside. See, that looks so much better. So much better. And then we're going to take our motorcycle and we're going to ink it up. Ooh, that's going to make a mess. Okay, because these are solid stamps, I'm just going to make sure and look at it really good. Just ignore this big slight of gross ink. Probably going to have it all over my fingers now too. And I'm just going to put that on the edge so it's driving off. I'm going to bring in my envelope and I'm going to do the same thing. A really good press. There we go. Now I'm going to set that out of the way. And I'm going to bring in this smaller die cut and we're going to try that one more time. I don't know if the small die cut will work, but we'll try it. Just because I want it to look better. All right. Now I'm going to set all these ink pads or stamps out of the way so that I'm not getting all gross and inky. All right, here we go. So now we're going to do some layering. We'll go ahead and do the layering part. All right, so all of these dimensions are going to be on my blog tomorrow, because like I said, there is a lot. Just going to take some Stampin' Seal and add it to a pumpkin pie mat. So yeah, this has the pumpkin pie mat. It's going to have the cardstock, and it's not just one card front, it's like 2 card bases. So this is a super heavy card. I'm just being careful to create that nice edge with the mat. And all of this, you can see this is all just one sheet of DSP that I used from the He's the Man set. Unfortunately, that one is not on clearance right now, but it's still available. So don't forget our up to 60% off clearance sale with some of our things that are going, our last chance items. There's still a lot left. There's a lot gone, but there's still a lot left. A lot of embellishments, a lot of ribbon. With that $50 purchase using my hostess code that you can get on the blog, you'll get that free gift from me. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and layer this inside. To another mat. A lot of my teammates know that orange is my favorite color, so I absolutely love this card. The browns with the orange. It's perfect. All right. So let's go ahead and create our card base. So what I've done is I've cut out 2 8.5 by 11 by 5.5 sheets of cardstock. So this is basically just an 8.5 by 11 cut in half. I scored it at 2 1/8 and 4 1/4 on each one. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold and then burnish back. So I'm going to bring in my bone folder. And then I will tell you, I did cut a small sliver. I know brown and orange are perfect together. There's not many colors that are not perfect with orange, in my opinion. Yellow, orange, pink, green apple green, they're all perfect. But I cut a sliver off of the end of one of these because basically what we're going to do is we're going to layer this in the middle. And if you don't cut that sliver, it's not going to connect in the middle. So basically what you do is you look you have to play with it and see which one is going to be, and you can see this one is the one on the back is the one with a small sliver. So it's going to get layered in right here. So this is one of the times that I'm going to use some liquid adhesive. I don't use liquid adhesive as much as I used to, just because I can get heavy-handed with it sometimes. And so then my fingers get all sticky, kind of like all inky, and I don't like that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and layer this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that it meets back here on the back, and that it folds shut. Okay, and then I'm going to give it a nice burnish. So you can tell there's a small little lip here, but I'm just making sure that it folds evenly and that there's not anything sticking out anywhere. Okay, so there's our card base. So you've got a nice little double Z flap, and then it's ready for some of those layers that we've done. You can use liquid adhesive, you can use Stampin' Seal, whatever you love. As I said, I use Stampin' Seal a little more than I used to. And it doesn't matter which layers you put on the front. You could, I guess, do, you know, opposites to give it a little more flair. I felt like that piece was a little bigger. Pull that down a little bit. And so if you don't like set it down, you can peel it up. It does give you that little bit of wiggle room that liquid adhesive gives you. I had to tear one apart with liquid adhesive earlier today. It was not fun. But I was making a reel and I got fast with it and it was a mess. But the card was really cute and I didn't want to destroy it, so I just carefully tore it off because it was a little crooked and I couldn't live with that. But as with all card making, you know, there's no mistakes, just happy accidents. Okay, so then this is going to go on the inside. So this is a pretty fast going card. It doesn't take a whole lot of time. The part that's going to take us the most time is doing our motorcycle. But they're so fun. Okay, so there we go. Oh, that one doesn't meet all the way, but it'll be fine. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a belly band here. So what I do is I line my cardstock. So this is a piece of 1 1/4 by 11. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my card in the middle and just kind of line it up so that I've got an even amount on each side. And I'm going to fold it, but I don't want to fold it real tight because I want to be able to get it out. And if you create it too tight, then it doesn't, you can't get it in and out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of eyeball where how far it's folding in at. So you'll see that I'm folding it in and it's coming to about right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some tear tape, and I like tear tape just because it's really strong. You could just use Stampin' Seal Plus. I think Stampin' Seal would probably be strong enough, but I've got the tear tape, so I like to use it. Now I'm going to take my Take Your Pick tool, and I'm going to remove the coating, I guess. All right, toss that out of the way, and then I'm going to fold this up, but I'm not going to fold it real tight, and then line it up. There we go. So now I have a piece of DSP that coordinates. I could put ooh, no, that doesn't match. Whoop-hoo. I guess I could have made it with the Cajun Craze and it would have. All right. we'll line that up. And this is our belly band for the card. Uh-oh. Did I make it too? There we go. It'll go, guys. Whew. That was close. All right. So now, here's our smaller guy. Let's see if we can make that work. So I'm going to stick that right there. And let's put our motorcycle together. Okay, so I have all these die cuts. So what I did was I did one in gray granite. So the Legendary Ride dies look like this. So you've got your big motorcycle. So you need one of these. You need the outline for the I guess the I don't know. Just the chrome is what I think. And then I think this would be like the motor. I don't know a lot about cars and motorcycles, but I feel like this is like the motor piece. You've got two of the wheels. You'll cut that. I did these with the foil. You've got your tires. So it cuts out just the outline on these. And then your seat. So that's what you need for the motorcycle itself. So I have all of these pieces set out here. And let's start out. So here's our base. And so the reason I did it with the gray granite, it probably would have been better with Sahara Sand, but gray granite is because I want this to kind of blend in. I don't really want that to be prominent. I want it to kind of blend into everything. So here's my motor piece. And what I'm going to do, when I cut this with the silver foil, I used Stampin' Up's adhesive sheets. And I thought I left them out, but maybe I didn't. So the adhesive sheets look like this. So you get 12 of these bad boys, and these are 6 by 12. Yes, vroom vroom. So they're 6 by 12. They have 3 different strips that you can peel off, and then you have a sticky side. I love to use this for any of those fine detail dies. And this one I would definitely call fine detail. So I'm going to peel off the back of here, hopefully. There we go. And so the nice thing about this is you'll see I had a lot of this stuff already kind of punched out with these delicate holes, but I couldn't get these little guys out right here. So the awesome sheets leave it right there on there. So this is pretty sticky. So what I'm going to do, and this is what I've done. So I don't know if you can see, there's like a teardrop shape right here for like the gas tank. So I want this to go right over that. So I'm going to kind of line that up first. And then the others just kind of lay into place. No, Mary, you need to make sure that you're using them all the time because they're awesome. I use the adhesive sheets on so much. Makes my life so much easier because I'm pretty heavy-handed when it comes to this liquid adhesive sometimes. So what you could do is you could bring in your silicone mat, you know, and use this glue like this because it could squeeze out. Okay, so now I'm going to line this up. And I'm going to make sure that my handle is kind of in the middle. And so that I'm kind of creating just a little bit of air and space in between each thing. So I've got like just a little outline on all of that. So I'm going to get this sheet out of the way. All right, so the next thing you have is you have your tires. And I went ahead and left these because I'm going to show you what I do. I take my take your pick tool and poke all of these little gadgets off. Let's start pulling this off and see if they come out without poking. Nope. All right. Well, it's not working as well as it should. Okay, so I'm going to pull all of these little spare pieces. And it is sticky, so you'll notice I'm kind of holding it on the side, because basically what you're doing with those adhesive sheets is you're creating a sticker. There we go. Uh-oh, I'm going to have to bring out my silicone mat because I didn't want to pull that backing off just yet. So I'm going to pull my silicone mat out here because I need to add my tire now. I got a little ahead of myself. So I'm just using, I didn't use it on the adhesive sheets on the black, which I should have. So I'm using liquid adhesive, and I'm being very careful because once you get liquid adhesive on the foil, it's not, I mean, it smears and it's gross. Okay, we'll set that one out of the way. And then we're going to go ahead and add this one first, like we should have on that one. So the weather here today has turned disgusting this weekend. It rained all weekend. It was awful. It's cold. I'm back in my long johns again. It was so pretty for the first part of the week. And then it got gross again. Okay. So while that's sitting there, let's try to poke some of these things out here. It's almost like it didn't cut very well. I'm just going to stick these super sticky pieces down here on the silicone mat, and then I'll clean it up later. All right. Take your pick tool if you do not have it. Ooh. It's definitely windy here too, Rosie. Super windy. Okay. Take your pick tool if you don't have it. This is a must-have. This is one item that you can get free of charge from me if you place that $50 order, and I would definitely recommend it because I think this is my all-time favorite tool. I don't know if there's very many cards that I've made in my lifetime that I haven't used this little magic piece of equipment. There we go. All right, now here we are. So here's the tire. Now on the tire portion, I didn't really see any difference in the front and the back tire. Hopefully there's not. So I'm going to lift this piece up here, the fender, and we're going to set that right there. And I'm going to kind of center it so this center piece, the middle, will go down right in the middle. So there's that. And now we're ready for tire number 2. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to kind of pick it up and set it right on top. There we go. All right, so now I think the only thing we have left are the fenders. So now here on the fenders, you'll see that there is an embossed area here and one on the front. So that kind of shows you which goes in the front and which goes in the back. So I'm going to ever so gently be glad that this is the end bottle of this glue. Because if it was a new bottle, I'd make a mess of this. I was hoping I had enough just to get through this project. Okay, and then we'll do the front one. Ooh, I am looking forward to the new attachments too, but that means I'm just going to have to get another tool because I'm going to have attachments. I have 2 already, but now I'm going to need, all right, setting that down there with my tweezers, just kind of lining it up there. And so here's this cool motorcycle. How awesome is that? I love these guys. Oh, in my seat. So I cut out a black seat. You just have to be careful because it's got this notch in the middle, so it does kind of move around a little bit. So be careful as you're gluing it. So I wasn't so sure about this set when I first saw the catalog. We don't really have motorcycle people in our house. But I've seen so many cool things and I borrowed a set. So when I saw that it was sticking around, I thought, well, I'm going to go ahead and get it. All right, so maybe I will go ahead and use this one, the little guy, because it's stamped better. And I'll just be careful about how I'm setting it. So I'm going to put some Stampin' Seal on the back end of my motorcycle. And I'm going to set this on the front of the card and kind of get an idea of where it can set and not cover anything up. There we go. And then this one will just be kind of off kilter. I kind of like it. All right. We'll use a little bit of seal here. We'll use our tweezers to pick up our card. And then set it right there. All right. We're just about done. All we have to do is finish up the envelope. Now, there's information on my blog about my paper share. So with the new with every new catalog, I do a product share. So this is going to be about 1/4 of a package of each DSP pack, individually labeled and marked. Let me show you. It comes in its own individual poly, not these envelopes, but it's a plastic baggie that I put them in with each coordinating color that's on there. You'll also get the ribbon that matches that's offered, as well as about 1/4 to 1/5 of each embellishment pack. So that information's on my blog. You have until 2 weeks from today, I believe, is when I've got the cutoff for those. If you're here locally, I can deliver it to you. If you're not local, there is a small fee for shipping, but I'll have everything expedited. My husband and kids already know that Saturday the 6th, Tim and I are going to celebrate our anniversary cutting paper all day long. He's super excited. When I told him that, he's like, you know, that's our anniversary. I was like, well, I know, but what better way than to spend it together working? So I know he's super excited about that. All right, so there is today's card. Legendary Ride. If you don't have it, grab it. Yes, romantic. That's Tim and I. So I'll have all the dimensions on my blog. Thank you so much for joining me again tonight. I appreciate it more than you know. Have an amazing week, and we'll see you next Sunday.